Hi there! How are you today? I am back with another art hang sketching session of my OC Simon. Hi, hope you're having a good day. So, today I'm gonna be drawing my OC Simon once again. I'm using a reference today when I found on Pinterest. This one right here. And yeah, I wanted to draw a position where he was sitting again, same as the last time, because I feel like there's a lot you can do when a character is sitting. I know, it's not something people normally say. Like, people usually say that most you can do is like with a dynamic position where the character is moving, you know, like jumping or something, but I don't know. I like it when they're sitting because I think the way that a character sits, the way that they, rest their weight, it tells a lot about them. For example, in this one, he is kind of like slouched forward. His head is slightly tilted down. I think it says a lot about the character, so I like drawing them sitting. So yeah, I'm drawing Simon sitting today. Once again, same as last time. As always, I'm starting with my red pencil, the first layer of the sketch. It's always easier to start with a color like red or a very light blue because, once you go over it with another color or just normal graphite, it really won't be noticeable. So I always start with red or light blue. And yeah, I'm just working with a reference. And again, Simon is from same character from last week's session, and he's from my original short film animation that I'm working on for college. I still have a lot of character inspiration to do for him and the other two characters. I feel like, when you're doing any kind of storytelling, be it animation or just writing, I feel like you always have to do some sort of character inspiration. Like in the case, if it's an animation of any sort, a short film, a movie, whatever it is, and you're making it up as you go, the characters and everything are original, they come from your imagination. I feel like you always have to do some character inspiration, no matter if you think that they're okay, like you already know them. Nah. Always take some time to do some character inspiration because you will discover things about the character as you go and learn more about them. Ironically, because you're technically the one who created them, but even as creators of the characters, a lot of times, there's a lot of things that we don't know about them. How they rest their weight, how they sit, do they slouch forward? Do they tilt their head down? How do they move their legs? There's a lot of things to think about, and it says a lot about the character. And when you're writing, when you're just writing, you're not using any kind of visual media, and just words, I still think it's important to do character inspiration. Of course, it's not, I don't mean that you have to draw them, I don't mean that, but more as in, think of random situations, random settings, and think about how does that character behave in that situation. What do they say? How do they act? That kind of thing. And you'll start to learn a lot more about the characters than you thought you knew. So yeah, I have a lot of character inspiration to do for them because I know the basics about who they are, but really there are more important things that are usually not that obvious when you're making characters. They're important. It's not that I'm saying that they're super important, but they're still important to a certain level, and they are key to the way that the character behaves, that the way they slouch, how they walk, do they have their shoulders pulled back, is their back straight, is their back not straight, that kind of thing. And you can see here that at this point I fluffed up, I really freaked it up. Yeah, I was just using my kneading eraser and I accidentally tore the page. I forgot that I had to hold it down so it didn't happen, and you can just, you can't hear the original audio because I'm doing this as a voiceover. But in the original audio of the video, I just went, no! Yeah, you could hear my scream. You could hear me just going, no! Crap. Yeah. So, but it is what it is. I did. The way to fix this kind of like tear in the page that I use is like I will cut out a tiny piece of like another white paper, whatever, and I will just glue it to the back, to just hold the paper together, and that's what I did, and it worked out great. The tear is still noticeable, but at least the paper won't continue tearing apart, and that was a goal. That was the goal. And the sketch, I started with my blue. I continued with my blue and I hope that whatever mistakes the sketch had, they would be fixed as I went over it with the blue. Just the normal issues. I made the mug a little bit bigger than it was in the original reference, and I also added just like a tiny flower vase, a pot. I'm not sure if it's a vase or pot. I couldn't decide if I wanted it to be dirt or water, but I added the flowers just like wilting and the petals falling because I thought it was more fitting to the mood of the drawing, his expression, the slouch. I thought it would be also more appropriate to the setting of the short film itself if the flowers are noticeably, just neglected if they're wilting. So that's what I did, and it was starting to look great once I went over it with the blue. I was really starting to like the sketch. And the style that I'm using for the short film and for the characters that I'm using in the short film is that they all have really thin limbs, like noodles. They're very noodly. But I wanted to make the hands and feet bigger, proportionally, like the hand is bigger than it would usually be. Like it looks huge for their arm, and the feet are very big and very round. They don't have like a feet shape, they're more triangular. So you can see that when I'm drawing the slippers that they have a very triangular shape. I ended up adding the chair too. And that's when I decided that, hey, it was time to fix the tear in the page. So I thought about it for a little, and I grabbed the paper that I had just right beside me, ripped off a piece. Yes, that was a reference. Don't ask. I ripped off a piece of reference that I had printed, and I just put some glue on it and glued it on the back very carefully. Just making sure it didn't have no extra glue or anything, and I just put the paper under it to secure it while it dried, and I just kept working like that. I checked the previous sketch just to see if it was looking similar enough, if the character was similar enough, it was looking good, so I continued. And then it was time for me to go back in with the normal graphite, with the gray lead. Tan-tan. And then I was like, yes, I want more contrast. So I went back in with the gray and just started to outline everything again. At first I really wasn't sure what kind of style I would do for my short film. I started this course, this small college degree, at the start of this year, and when we were coming up with ideas for the short film, back then at the start of the year, I still had absolutely no experience drawing cartoons in cartoony styles. I've only ever drawn in anime style when I was younger, because I did a lot of fan art and it was simple. And I learned a lot about anatomy thanks to it, and also because, I'm more used to drawing in realistic styles. Because of college and everything, it was just the normal for me. And when we were working on the ideas for the short film and starting to design characters and everything, I really had to take a moment to think about it and do a lot of exploration and watch some cartoons. It's not that I don't watch cartoons usually, because I do watch a lot of cartoons. I do enjoy many cartoons, but the thing is that I don't know, I never drew in those styles, it's not what I usually do. I always work in realistic styles, and I had never drawn in more cartoony styles, so it was definitely something new for me. But, as the months have gone by, the weeks have gone by, I've started to feel comfortable with this style that I've created for the short film. The way that I'm drawing the characters, the noodly limbs, the noses that are like triangles, the eyes that are very sharp lines, the hair. I really like the hair of my protagonist. Look at it. He's got a lot of curves, but it's also very sharp. I like the mix of curves and sharp lines in his hair. I think it fits him. At first I really didn't know what the heck I was going to do for the short film, because I had no cartoony style at that moment. But I am very glad that I got to explore, that part of my abilities, because I just had never done it before, and it gave me a chance to develop that part of myself, of my skills at least. I discovered that, hey, we can actually draw in cartoon styles. It's not that we were bad at it, we just had never done it before. So yeah, exploring new things has been definitely one of the big parts about this, this process for the short film I'm working on in college. We all my classmates are working on their own short films, it's one single person working on their short film. this short film is being created only by me, like from backgrounds to characters to writing to the story, everything is me. Everything is being done by me. So it's a lot of work, and it's also a lot of, you know, skills that I hadn't explored before, like doing backgrounds. Like before I started to work on the short film, I had never drawn backgrounds before. I had no idea where to start. But thanks to the teachers, classes, and, you know, just my own time exploring what I could do, you know, trying to actually use my abilities and learn, even when I didn't feel confident, I just went for it. It has taught me a lot. Like, I feel much more confident in my abilities to draw backgrounds and stuff now than I did like 6 months ago. And it was looking great, you know. The sketchbook was looking great. You know, my hard work, I think, has paid off. It could still be better, but I think it's okay. I mean, I'm developing my skills, and, you know, I'm trying. So I added the blush, and it was looking great. Because I don't know why, but I like it when the characters have really strong blush on the joints, and that's what I'm doing for my characters in the short film. And especially this character, he has like triangular shaped blush on his cheeks. It's meant to be like the type of blush you have after you have cried a lot, you know, like tear traps. And, you know, that's because he's a depressed young man, so I thought that as part of the character design, the tear track blush would be nice, and I think it looks really nice. It just adds this little spice to the sketch. So I just added the blush, and then, I don't know, tried to color something in, like, the hair and the slippers, because they're supposed to be pink. But again, only using the lead. Like, I was only using my sketching pencils because I did not want to use colored pencils. I like it more when I can see the sketch just as it is, all the mistakes, everything. And it always looks better before I color it. Unless it's actually intended to be colored. But it was looking great, actually. And yeah, it looked great. So I just decided to add a little bit more contrast in the vase of flowers. And of course the curtain in the background, which wasn't really being, you know, visible. It wasn't visible before, so I just went in and added a little bit. And that was it. I decided, hey, this is the end. I added the date at the bottom, and this is it. I finished my sketch today. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a shorter video than last week's, but it was pretty okay, and yeah. Hope you have a good day, afternoon, evening, /night, whatever it is, wherever you are. And yeah, bye. See you next week, hopefully. Check out my social media, please. Bye.